Friends, did you know that over 60% of your first-time clients are never coming back to your business again? They are going to your competition. That is so painful, and it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. So what does this mean? This means Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to the link in our show notes to get your demo of Maya set up. Or go to joinmaya, that's MYA.com, joinmaya.com, and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses that we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We have your back, we always will, and we promise you will love Maya. Thank you for joining me. This is Katie Whitledge with the Beyond the Technique podcast. We're talking about secret shoppers to audit your salon. Is this something you've ever done? Well, we have an industry expert here today, a returning guest. We have Ashley Thomas here, and let me remind you a bit about Ashley. She is the owner of 610 Salon, a business that has experienced incredible growth over the past 6 years. They started as a small 4-chair salon, and they've transformed into a thriving team, an expansive space that's become a local staple. Along the way, Ashley has navigated the challenges of massive growth and the ever-changing beauty industry, all while staying true to her vision of building a business rooted in exceptional guest experiences and a strong team culture. With 17 years in the industry, Ashley combines old school client-focused values, love that, with new school stylist-centered approaches to create a unique blend that drives success. Inspired by her own journey, she began consulting for other salon owners to help them grow their businesses through better systems, stronger teams, and sustainable passion or practices. And she has been with us before. Let me just give her a shout out because her first episode with us that I have in the show notes is about reaching 7 figures in revenue in 2 years without going into debt. Like the way she grew her business it's 6,500 square feet and never went into debt to do her build out or any of the things. Already that's epic. And I actually don't know one other industry owner that's gone that big, that fast without going into debt. So she knows her stuff. She's an awesome businesswoman and I'm happy to have her back. Welcome back, Ashley Thomas.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I'm really excited for the opportunity.
I'm excited too. And it's funny how word of mouth travels because I heard from a friend like Ashley Thomas might audit and secret shop my salon. And I was like, wait a minute, this is brilliant. We're going to get into that. I
Okay.
want to start with, since we spoke last, tell us about your continual growth and what you've been working on. Like, what's been your main focus now that because sometimes when you reach success, you get a little comfortable. You really haven't been that way. You keep pushing it. Tell us what you've been focused on.
Yeah. So it's kind of been to a fault that I keep pushing it because what I've been working on more recently is truly just trying to like sit in the success and really marinate that like it's not always going to be like it was for the past 5 years because we've just had such crazy success so fast, all happening at once. It has really kind of conditioned myself and my team. I was noticing the people that have been around for a long time that it has to always be what's next, what's next, what's next. And we just hosted our annual team retreat a couple months ago. And every year there's a different theme. And this year our theme was really pouring back into our team and teaching them to be okay with what they have built and just appreciate it and know that it's okay to, I'm going to use the word slow down. And it's not that you're really slowing down. It's just that you're, reaping all the benefits of all the things that you have done. And, progress starts to look a little different at some point. And so I think that's kind of where our entire business is right now, including myself, just really trying to like slow it down a little bit, take our foot off the gas, but not fully, and allow us to just be grateful for what we have built and just really reap the benefits of what we have here. So,
And prevent the overwhelm, because sometimes if we get into that cycle, it can turn into burnout for people. So I think that's really smart.
yeah.
Really, really smart. I think another thing that's really unique about your business is that you do have a retail space that's more than just hair care. Can you tell us a bit about what made you decide to do that and what that is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we moved from 1,200 square feet and we were moving into a 6,500 square foot space, which was massive. And we had 6 chairs at the end of our old location, and we were moving to 16 chairs and some treatment rooms. So, we could have fit a lot more chairs in this building, but I just felt like that was a very overwhelming thing to bring on. And so we decided, what else can we do that would be unique to our area? Kind of pulled our clients a little and our team was like, what about bringing in like a boutique space into the salon? So it kind of started with one of my team members having that idea, and it evolved into us now having I think it's about 900 square feet of our salon now. And it is clothes, accessories. We have like some home decor, gift sets, stuff like that. And people just eat it up because they're here anyway. And I've noticed something I didn't realize was going to happen is that we started actually getting people that are attracted to just our boutique that aren't even our clients here, that are shopping when we do a new drop, which is pretty cool. Actually, one of our front desk team members kind of started as one of those people in the area, just coming in. She wasn't our client. She was just coming in every time we would do like a spring drop or something, she would be here. And now she works with us at the front desk, which is amazing. So it's really opened up just a different layer to our business because, having 30 chairs in here seemed incredibly overwhelming. But even if we wanted to expand on our chairs in the future, I don't foresee us getting rid of the boutique because it's just something unique to bring to our area.
Total differentiator for you and your brand. I love that. Okay, well, let's dive into secret shopping. Is this first off, I think that's so smart because as owners, we're sometimes too far removed. Like we think either too big picture or we're so close in the weeds that we don't actually know is what we think happening, the real thing that's happening.
Mhm.
Is this something you've done for your own salon? How did this idea start for you?
So years ago, like right in the very beginning, I would probably say 2019, the year we opened, I had no idea what I was doing. I was also behind the chair like 80 hours a week, in the weeds with my team. It was wild. And we just exploded so quickly. I was really losing a handle on what I opened for, which was to have a killer guest experience. I couldn't get a grasp on it. So I picked a couple people and sent them into my team without them knowing as secret shoppers. And in hindsight, I didn't really do it the right way. It had good intentions, but I don't really think I told the people that were secret shopping what they should be looking for. So I didn't really get any valuable feedback from that. And then years later, when we were moving to this location, we had three a hairstylist and 2 estheticians that were looking to join our team. And I had someone that was working here suggest like, hey, remember when you sent secret shoppers in to us? What if we send secret shoppers in to them at their current spaces to have a service done? And then we had an actual like rubric to go off of because we were moving, transitioning, and especially for our estheticians, we did not have estheticians at our old salon. So I had no idea how to even have a service myself with them. So we sent some secret shoppers in and we got some really great feedback, and all 3 of them still work here today, a couple years later, which is amazing. And so, yeah, so when I started doing salon consulting, I kind of wanted to do consulting to really be able to tailor it specifically to what the salon owner needs. So the secret shopper thing kind of just came up when I was, meeting with someone. And one thing they were like, I really want to expand on our guest experience. So I was like, maybe we should suggest, because this location that I was going to was out of state, so it wasn't someone in the area that would know who I was. So I was like, what if I just come in for a service? You're not there and they know maybe I'm coming, but they don't necessarily know who I am. So I went in under a different name and I got to like actually feel the experience firsthand, because the whole thing with the secret shopper is, if I'm coming in as a consultant or I tell my team I'm sending a secret shopper into you, of course they're going to be on their best behavior. And it's not about catching anybody doing anything wrong. That's not it. It's really just about seeing what somebody is doing as an overall. It's not the specific person, but as an overall salon experience. What is the experience like? You're only as good as your worst day. And like, what is it going to happen when the greatest thing isn't happening, because they know that you're there? Do you know what I mean? And so it's really given us some valuable insight for my salon. And it's also was really great when I traveled to the salon to do. And I think it's definitely something I'm going to keep in the repetition with other salons if that's something they're interested in, because you really are able to get a lot of valuable insight from that.
Okay, let me start at the beginning because I think it's brilliant that you went to secret shop candidates. Like, this could even be done at beauty schools. When you went in there and you said that actually gave you the insights of what you needed to know or ask, like what questions to ask, what were a couple of those questions that you hadn't thought of before, or things that just came to mind were like, ooh, we should know this about our candidates first, or these are things that we should look for. Was there anything in particular you could share?
So when I was sending someone to check out other people coming here, so for that, we really just focused on their professionalism. And we were really at that point looking for very, very specific people, because I was really trying to protect our culture. And we were going to go from 16 employees to 30 employees pretty much overnight. And I kind of knew that because we were expanding. So I really wanted a lot, to bring in people that were going to protect that culture. So culture is kind of elusive. I can describe it to somebody, but it's like the feeling that you get when you're with a service provider or inside of a salon. So specific questions, we were really just trying to find out that like level of professionalism, but also it's a very friendly environment in our salon. So we wanted to make sure it was like just the perfect fit. And then of course we had a ton of questions on like their service. And I really knew at that point we were going to be expanding our team so quickly. We needed people that were able to come in here and kind of already have some good habits under their belt, such as, did they speak to you about retail? Because we're heavy on retail here. And I knew I wasn't going to have the ability to dedicate retail training to these new people coming in at that time, because there was just so many people coming in at once. So I really asked heavily on like, did they talk about retail and educate to you, not sell it to you? I want to know if they educated you on it. And obviously all three of them are here because they did that. So it really worked out well for us.
Oh, it's so awesome. I mean, I think every owner listening is going to be like, if we aren't doing this already, we're going to do this now.
Yeah,
So it's really cool.
it was really cool.
When you went to audit a salon, what are some of the things that you are specifically looking for? Because the owner's like, really shoot it to me straight. What are the things? What are kind of those categories that you oversee and look at?
So when I am going, I'm really just, for me, it's hard to not compare it to my salon. And so I really am trying to take myself out of that. What are you looking for your experience to be? And it's good to know that in advance. So when I go there, I'm able to say they delivered on X, Y, and Z. Because if I'm just going in there blind and I don't have that information ahead of time, I'm going to be judging off of my guest experience at my salon, right? And that's not really fair to the salon that I'm headed to. So it's really important to know, like, what is that salon looking for their guest experience to be? What is the standard? What is the expectation? So I know going in there what the standard and expectation should be. And if it's not checking those boxes, for example, if the salon owner tells me, when you come in and secret shop, one thing that we are super crazy about which is what we are here. You walk in the door and somebody is greeting you right away from that front desk with a smile, and they're asking if you need anything. What are you here for? Can I get you a beverage? Would you like a guest tour? Because that is something that we do. So if a salon owner is telling me all those things and then I go there and I walk in and nobody even looks my direction, there's going to be some sort of issue. So really getting some understanding of what that guest experience is supposed to be ahead of time and having it more mapped out so then I know what I'm trying to look for when I'm walking through the salon for my service.
Yeah, I think that's so smart. Are there any red flags when it comes to your own salon? Like if somebody were going to secret shop you and you actually didn't know this was going to happen to you, what would
There's
be
a
red
lot.
flags that you would want to know about? Besides,
There,
of course, that initial greeting, which I think is huge.
yeah, there would be a lot. I am our business is incredibly systematized. I mean, the list, if someone was coming to secret shop me, my list of my guest experience would be massively long because it is something we take incredibly seriously here. And every single thing is systematized. Of course, they get to add their own unique touch to it because I do not want a bunch of robots doing the same exact thing. I want people to put their own spin on things, but like our bathroom better, which is so funny because you just posted this today.
Oh, true.
Yes, our bathroom better be spotless. Like it needs to be perfectly
Stop.
spotless and stocked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toilet paper roll needs to be on top rolling down, not underneath to fall. Lord, we could
Yep.
have that argument. Yeah.
But I think the main things that would stick out for me is basically if I were to go into my Google reviews right now, I know there's certain things that stick out to every single client that they mention almost every time. And that would be things such as like our team, our ability to work as a team is something that is mentioned in our Google reviews constantly. So I know that needs to be top tier. So if a person was coming in here secret shopping, that better be something that they can recognize right off the top, because that's kind of the expectation our Google reviews are setting for us because that's who we are as a salon.
Yeah.
We are kind of like drink pushers, like if somebody doesn't have a hot tea in their hand, someone is constantly asking you like, can I get you a drink? Can I get you a drink? Until they just take a damn drink. Um, and then really just the cleanliness, like this place is spotless 24/7 and the client feels comfortable knowing that they're in good hands because it is not a sloppy mess in here.
I love that. For owners who are listening who are like, "Ooh, I'm interested," like, what does this look like for you to actually engage with an owner who would want your help and guidance to shop and audit their business?
So I decided to start doing salon consulting back last March, I would say. And it started kind of getting off the ground. And I've seen this story before where I started a business and it completely took over my life. So second time around, I was like, all right, let me set some boundaries here. So I never really like marketed it or created a website or anything like that. So as of right now, people are able to just contact me through Instagram. Most of the time it's just people that already know me is who I've been kind of working with right now. So they're texting me or something like that. I usually set up a complimentary 1 hour long call and I have a plethora of questions that I will ask them just to kind of get an idea of what it is that they're looking for. And if it is guest experience, I'm able to offer the secret shopper option. But of course, there's a bunch of other things that we can offer. But if they don't have a clear idea of if they're having me come in for a secret shopper and this is something that they're interested in, if there isn't a clear idea of what the guest experience is, I might as well not do that part of the service because that's like a whole different layer that we're going to have to work on first. But if you think you have a really killer guest experience and you're kind of just trying to test the waters, we would meet. I would hear all about your guest experience and that whole mapping out that whole thing that you've already done. And then I'm going to be able to come in and kind of put it to the test. But of course, like I said, if it's not already mapped out, that's definitely a different kind of service. We're going to have to work on that first because we're kind of putting the cart before the horse at that point.
Oh, I think that's really smart. Hey, before we even go there, if you don't have, like you said, your business is completely, all the processes are in place, all the systems. if that's not created first? And
Mhm.
how much time do you feel like when you adopt and deploy a new approach, a new way to go through check-ins, checkouts, consultations, how much time do you recommend giving the team to really get into the groove and like, I'm not going to audit you a week after we do that. I'm going to audit you how long? You know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
Right. So I actually love this topic because this is something I'm very passionate about. And I feel like I have learned the hard way on what works best for us. There's something called the change curve. I don't know if you ever heard about it. So basically, it looks like a roller coaster, and the idea starts here, and then finishing it out is going to be here. And like a lot of times as leaders, we are creating systems and processes that we're working on behind the scenes for a very long time. And then we're rolling it out to our team, and they need time to adapt to it, just like we took 3 months to figure out what the process is going to be. So it's really important when you roll out something, even if it is simple as like you're bringing in a new drink or you're taking a drink away that you offered. People need to adapt to that change, and you need to give them the space to adapt to that change. So when we roll out a new system, typically we come up with whatever window we decide. It's usually, if it's like a serious change, we're going to give like 2 months for it to really get off the ground. And through those 2 months, we are coaching along the way. If it's a smaller change, we'll give them a much shorter period of time, maybe like 2 weeks. And we're coaching along the way. And then we always have like a hard start date of the change when things are going to get put into motion. And anything you didn't like that was happening in the first 2 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it may be, it is your chance then to work through it. Because once we hard stop it, we're not going to change it. So it's kind of more about like testing the waters out and letting your team have the ability to make tweaks to something before you just throw something out there. Because a lot of times as salon owners, we're not working at the front desk. Maybe we're not taking services, we're not our assistant or associate in our building. So it's hard for us to roll something out that we're not actually doing. So it's best, in my opinion, to allow your team to test it out first to make sure it works. So our team is large. There's 30 of us. So now that there's so many of us, what we've actually adapted is we do a test group. We take like 2 or 3 people. We ask them to adapt to the change first. They start doing the change. As long as it's not something that's going to affect the entire team, they'll start doing the change, and then they offer us feedback. So when we do roll it out to the rest of the team, it feels a little bit more solid than just an idea.
Um, Love this. Everybody listening needs to write down the change curve and go look that up because you'll see the graph and the progressions and the stages and phases of change, which I think is so smart that you brought that up. So thank you.
Yes.
And congrats. What a massive team that you've built. For everybody listening, share with them your city. It's not like you're living in Chicago where there's millions of candidates. Like tell us
Yeah.
about where you live. Yeah.
So we are in a very tiny town. We're in a town of less than 3,000 people, and all the towns surrounding us are pretty tiny as well. And it has just, we started with 4 people, and yesterday was our 6th anniversary. So 6 years ago, and very
Congratulations.
exciting. And it's just progressed into this massive team, but everybody really truly works cohesively together. And I think even the team members I have here who hate all the systems, they know it is necessary because it's the only way to do it. In my opinion, it's the only way to do it.
Oh,
So
well, this is a testament to your leadership, first off, and your ability to grow other leaders, right? Nobody can do this on their own. So I'm really proud of you. I think what you're doing is amazing. And to have 30 stylists at a salon when you're in a population or city of 3,000, everybody listening's like, what's your secret? Because they live in way bigger cities and are struggling to maintain over 10. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah.
please, you are killing it. Before we're done, what's been one of the main books you've read in the last year that you feel has made the biggest impact on your life as an entrepreneur and business owner?
You're gonna hate me, but I don't read. I do not read. I know. I don't read. I think I've read like 2 books in my entire lifetime, including the ones I was
Okay,
supposed
what
to read
do
in
you
high
have
school.
besides Beyond the Technique podcast? What's
Yes.
what are you listening to? How do you grow? Okay, then tell us, how do you grow?
I listen to I'm like a podcaster. I really enjoy listening to podcasts, and I just try to surround myself with people that are doing more than me, because and that will constantly evolve, you know. You need to start surrounding yourself with people that do more than you so you can rise to their level and get inspired. And that's kind of been a journey I've been on the past couple, maybe 6 months, where like I'm trying to find a new network of, not new network, a network of people that can kind of propel me even further, because I feel like I'm running out of ideas, you know, I'm running out of ideas. I'm feeling a little stagnant. But I think really the secret, I know you're not asking for a secret, but the secret for me is really just trying to balance like systems and profitability with that personal side. Like I run a business, and my team knows that like the business is just as important to me as my team, and trying to really balance those two things together. But yeah, I'm a podcaster. I really enjoy podcasts. And I just join different groups and stuff and of entrepreneurs. And I think it's also important at some point to expand beyond our industry a little bit. Expand beyond our industry. Our industry is incredibly unique. It really is. It's incredibly unique. And I think, though, you can also gain a lot of insight from other professionals and other entrepreneurs in other, industries, because they have things they can offer you that you can't even dream up. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're right. It's what you're absorbing for education, but also who you surround yourself with, and you've done a brilliant job with that. I would also give you credit to say you take the best ideas and actually apply it, because a lot of people don't take that next step of action, and you do, and it's paid off big time. So,
Yeah.
congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you. I think that's so true, because a lot of salons I'm meeting with, we're doing our discovery call. They're like, I had this business coach and that business coach, and oh yeah, I know about that and I know about that, but nobody is not nobody. They're not implementing all the things they learned. So a lot of times I'm meeting with people and I'm like, listen, I'll help you, but I'm just going to be honest. If you're not going to implement what I'm helping, you already have the tools. Implementation needs to happen. And then the secondary piece is accountability for yourself and for your team. Like, more often than not, I'm meeting with people and they're like, this is happening. This is happening. They're doing this. They're doing that. I told them not to do it. And I'm like, well, what happens when they don't do it? And it's always like, well, nothing. And I'm like, implementation and accountability are arguably the two most important things, for sure.
Well, Lord, I was going to end with what's your final words of wisdom? That was pretty wise.
That was it.
Before I am going to ask you that still, but let me tell everybody listening that I do have Ashley's Instagram, both for herself and her salons. You can follow both in their journeys and just be connected. That is in our show notes. So please go and follow her and her salon. Ashley, tell us, what would be your final words of encouragement for owners listening today who are people who strive to get better? They are implementers. They want to take themselves to the next level this year. What would you tell them?
I think I would tell them that a lot of times when I'm meeting with people, there's a lot of financial stress happening in their salon, and everybody is scared of understanding the numbers beyond the revenue, and there is so much power. This is actually what I'm the most passionate about, is how to gain knowledge like inside of your numbers. It is scary, absolutely, but if you do not know your numbers, you're failing before you try. And it's so important to get uncomfortable, get into those numbers. And if you don't have somebody that knows the numbers or can teach you how to know the numbers, then find somebody, because it is super, super important to understand things like, there's a whole piece of a pie, and every single dollar that we spend in our salon is going to make up that 100%. And you need to know how to budget, where you're wasting money. And it's so important, super important.
Yeah. Love it. You're amazing. I'm so glad that we know each other and that we get to see each other here and there at events. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to share your wisdom with us. I appreciate you.
Of course, thank you so much. I was happy to be here. It was really great.
And thank you all for joining us here week after week. If you appreciate Beyond the Technique, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, everybody, have an awesome day and stay strong.